Hey everyone, we're back to Spirited Drops from the back of a taxi in Singapore. I'm returned from travels and I'm back in the saddle with clients and so on, and I just wanted to check in and see how are you faring with all of this pretty crazy, beautiful and intense energy of the eclipse window, the new moon in Virgo, the equinox, and also the Schumann frequency underfoot is spiking and going a bit nuts as well, and it is requiring a little bit of intentional management, I find, for myself. But I thought I'd come on and give you a couple of tips that I've been giving other people. So the last 48 hours I've had probably, I think, about 5 or 6 really urgent requests from people who are clearly very sensitive to energy, and that are just overwhelmed. It's presenting in their lives as sort of flaring conflict and drama in their immediate relationships. Quite a few people have messaged me with just unexplained crying that they can't quite attribute to a trigger, but their body is just releasing and crying. Mental fuzziness is another one. So a lot of creative ideas coming through after a bit of a hiatus, but they just can't pin one down and get traction. Some people are reporting joint pain and pain in the body as well, and so I think all of these things, especially in my kind of work where I get to see quite a lot of people who are engaged in energy work and who are sensitives to energy, whether that be spiritual energy or energy from the wilderness or astrological dynamics. I can see patterns, and they certainly seem to be the key ways that people are getting thrashed around a little bit at the moment. And so there's a couple of things that I can offer that may be useful if you're in that zone as well. The big one, if you've got conflict and drama and projection, because obviously the people around you, if that's happening, they're being affected as well, but perhaps don't have the wherewithal to be able to mindfully manage or transmute their energy, is to protect your peace. So it's absolutely okay to say no, to not engage, to not immediately return the crazy WhatsApp message, to not call back straight away until you're really centered and you're on nice stable ground yourself. Protect your peace, massive. Grounding is also super important. So especially if you're a bit like me and a couple of other people I've heard from where their mental field is really fried, and you guys know the grounding techniques. So obviously outdoors, immersion in nature, the wilder the better. But if you've only got a little patch of grass in your back garden, get outside, get some sunshine on your belly, and participate in the beautiful equinox changing of the season. Some of you will be winding down into autumn, which is absolutely magnificent, and some of you up in the north will be experiencing some of the first early signs of spring, and the patching into nature's cycles and the beautiful new palettes of scent and colour and also seasonal foods is really, really good for your system and gets you back in alignment rather than feeling that your energy is grating against a bigger cycle of energy. So definitely grounding. If you're crying a lot, which I have heard from a lot of people, I think sometimes it's really worth reframing that crying is actually a really good thing. So it floods your system with endorphins, it's very clearing, it transmutes energy. It's our energy body's sort of natural way of like transmuting a build-up of dense energy, even if you can't really name it. I always think crying is a lot like a storm. So there's a build of tension, there's a sort of an explosion in the atmosphere with the thunder and the lightning, and then it's always followed by soothing, beautiful rain. And I feel like in many ways that's what our energy bodies do. When we're crying, we release. It's really, really good for us, and it is a form of creating space as well. So don't lock down your tears if you're getting some tears coming through. Allow yourself to cry, and in the shower is okay. There's a difference between intentional allowance of crying and also wallowing in self-pity, and you don't want to spiral into that because it's got a denser, more negative, you're loading story in if you're doing that, you know. But having a damn good cry and allowing your energy body to release some tension is very good. And then the other thing that I would add, the final tip on this one, there's so much more that you can do, is to sigh, the power of the sigh. So I find myself doing this kind of almost automatically if I'm a bit fried and a bit overwhelmed with what's going on around me. But there's a lot of science around the sigh, you know, so it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which balances out your nervous system. It releases tension. It feels great if you do it. So a good sigh is empty out your breath and a long, slow inhalation right down to the belly through the nose, and then a wide, loose jaw and mouth, and add some sound, you know. So you might want to do this in the bathroom, not the boardroom, but a beautiful breath in. And I'd go low on the tone too, because that opens up the airways a little bit more and you get a lovely vibratory sort of wash through your system. So hang in there. All of these energies, which I always say are working in our favour. So one of the best things you can do is switch your attitude towards the intensity and know that it's serving you and working in your favour if you work with it. So I hope that's got you thinking, guys, and I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.